Have you ever just stopped and really looked at the screen you're on right now and wondered, how does it do all this? It's pretty amazing, right? Well, it all comes down to a kind of secret language, and today we're going to learn how to speak it.
I mean, seriously, just look at this image, the colors, the lighting, and the sheer complexity of it all. How in the world does a machine, a box of circuits and wires, create something this beautiful?
Because, and this is the crazy part, that incredible image is built from nothing more than this, a bunch of zeros and ones. That's it. It feels impossible, I know, but stick with me because we're going to break down exactly how it's done.
All right, let's dive in. We are about to unlock the secret code that powers, and I mean this literally, every single piece of digital tech we use every day.
And this quote? This is the key to the whole thing. The movie you streamed last night, that song you have on repeat, even this explainer. It all boils down to a massive, super intricate pattern of simple on and off signals.
So to really get this language, we've got to start small, like really small. We need to look at the absolute basic building block. You could call it the atom of information.
And that atom is called a bit. Just think of it like a simple light switch. It can be on or it can be off. That's it. There's no dimmer, no in between. It is the absolute simplest piece of information you can possibly imagine.
And here's how that actually works in the real world. We use a 0 to represent off and a 1 to represent on. Inside your computer, that directly translates to electricity. A 0 means no current is flowing through a tiny transistor, and a 1 means there is. It's a real physical thing.
Okay, so we've got our basic letter, our tiny switch. Now, let's see how we can start stringing these things together to build actual words and, complex ideas.
So one single bit isn't all that useful by itself. But when you group 8 of them together, now you've got something called a byte. And here's the magic trick. This group of 8 switches, this byte, can represent a number. And once you have a number, you can make that number mean anything you want.
Just look at this. The string of ones and zeros, 0100001, is just the number 65 to the computer. But we've all agreed that number 65 means the letter A. Or take 001111100. That's the number 60. And maybe that's the code for a specific shade of green. It's like a universal translator that turns simple numbers into anything we can imagine.
All right, this is where it gets really cool. Let's take this idea and see how it literally paints the pictures we see on our screens every day.
And the hero of this story is the pixel. You've heard the word a million times, right? All it is one single tiny dot of light on your screen. It's the smallest piece of the picture.
And here's the thing you got to realize. The screen you're looking at right now isn't one solid image. Nope, it's a massive grid, like a piece of digital graph paper, made up of millions and millions of these little individual dots.
So, how does each tiny dot know what color to be? It's simple, really. Each pixel is just sitting there, waiting for an instruction. That instruction comes in the form of a number, a byte. That number is a code that tells the pixel, hey you, turn this specific shade of red. The computer sends a unique number to millions of pixels all at once and bam! An image just pops into existence.
And if you want to talk about scale, just look at that number, over 8 million. That's how many tiny dots have to be told exactly what to do to create just one single image on a 4K screen. That's millions of instructions, all just streams of zeros and ones. It's just mind-boggling when you think about it. Okay, so we've got static images down, but our world is full of movement and sound, right? So let's talk about the digital symphony, how that gets created from the very same code.
A video is actually way less complicated than you might think. It's not real motion, it's an illusion. It's just a whole bunch of still images, called frames, shown one after another super fast. Your computer is just repainting all 8 million of those pixels 30 or 60 or even more times every single second, and your brain sees that as smooth motion.
So, that's images, that's motion. But what about the sound that goes along with it? Well, by now you can probably guess the secret, right? Yep. It's just another long list of numbers.
So how do you turn a sound wave into numbers?
Well, it works kind of like this. Sound in the real world is a smooth, continuous wave. To make it digital, a computer takes a sample. It measures the height of that wave thousands of times every second. Each one of those tiny measurements gets turned into a number, and that number gets stored as a byte. Then, to play it back, the computer just reads the numbers in order and it recreates the original sound.
And that brings us full circle. It all starts with one tiny on-off switch, a single bit. We group them into bytes, which become numbers. And those numbers can be a letter, a color for a pixel, a frame in a video, or a piece of a sound wave. It's an entire universe of media, all built from the simplest foundation you could ever imagine.
And this is why it's so incredible. Our entire digital reality, all of it, was created from just two simple symbols. It just makes you stop and wonder, doesn't it? What on earth are we going to build with it next?